Imagine you are walking through the forest. It is quiet, sunny, and suddenly behind the trees there is the crack of a branch. And then silence. A bear has smelled you from 30 kilometers away. It knows everything about you, where you are standing, what you ate for breakfast, and how many of you there are, and you know almost nothing about it. Today, we will fix that. 100 facts about the most recognizable predator on the planet, an animal that both frightens and fascinates, that ancient peoples worshipped, and that still manages to surprise scientists. Stay until the end, because in the middle of the video, something awaits you that will turn your idea of these animals upside down. Fact number 1. There are 8 species of bears on Earth: the brown bear, the polar bear, the American black bear, the Asian black bear, the spectacled bear, the sun bear, the sloth bear, and the giant panda. They are all relatives, but each one has a completely unique way of life. Fact number 2. Bears can smell scents from a distance of up to 30 kilometers. Their nose works 7 times sharper than a dog's nose. This means that, in theory, a bear is capable of smelling you from the other shore of the Great Lake. Fact number 3. Despite their pigeon-toed walk and heavy appearance, a brown bear can accelerate up to 50 kilometers per hour. Usain Bolt, at his peak, ran at a speed of 44 kilometers per hour. A bear would outrun him. Fact number 4. Bear cubs are born tiny. Even though a female bear weighs 200 or even 300 kilograms, a newborn bear cub weighs only about 500 grams, roughly like a pack of butter. This is one of the most striking contrasts in the world of mammals. Fact number 5. During winter sleep, a bear's heart beats only 4 times per minute. For comparison, a human at rest has about 60 beats. Breathing also slows down, 1 or 2 breaths per minute. At the same time, a bear can be woken up. It reacts to danger even inside the den. Fact number 6. A bear does not eat or drink for up to 7 or 8 months during winter sleep. No food supplies with it. The body feeds exclusively on stored fat. During this time, the animal loses up to a third of its weight. Fact number 7. The fur of a polar bear looks white from the outside, but in reality, every hair is transparent and hollow inside. The skin underneath is black. It is the black skin that absorbs heat, while the transparent fur scatters light in such a way that we see the color white. Fact number 8. The liver of a polar bear is deadly dangerous for humans. It accumulates such an amount of vitamin A that even 100 grams can cause acute poisoning. Polar explorers know this and never eat bear liver. Fact number 9. In 2006, a hunter in Canada shot a bear that he mistook for a polar bear. DNA analysis showed that it was a hybrid of a polar bear and a grizzly. Scientists called it a pizzly. Because of the melting of Arctic ice, the ranges of the 2 species are increasingly overlapping, and there are more and more such hybrids. Fact number 10. Bears solve cognitive tasks at the level of great apes. In experiments at Oakland Zoo in 2012, bears correctly pointed to the right images, compared the number of objects, and recognized themselves in pictures. They solved some chimpanzees gave the wrong answer. This personally amazed me the most in this topic. We are used to thinking that a bear is strong, but not smart. It turns out that this is completely untrue. Fact number 11. The largest of all species is the polar bear. Males weigh on average from 400 to 700 kilograms. The record specimen weighed 1,002 kilograms. That is more than a small car. Fact number 12. The smallest bear in the world is the sun bear, or the beruang bear. Its height is about 70 centimeters at the shoulder. It lives in the tropical forests of Southeast Asia and climbs trees very well. Fact number 13. Bears have the longest tongue among predators relative to body size. The sun bear's tongue reaches 25 centimeters. With it, it gets honey from hives and larvae from cracks in the bark. Fact number 14. Bears are omnivorous animals. Depending on the season, up to 90% of their diet can be plant food: berries, nuts, roots, grass. Meat takes up a smaller share than people usually think. Fact number 15. A bear's claws do not retract, unlike cats. They grow constantly and are used for digging, climbing trees, catching fish, and defense. The claws of a brown bear can reach 10 centimeters in length. Fact number 16. Bears are excellent swimmers. A brown bear calmly crosses rivers several kilometers wide. The polar bear is a true marine swimmer. One female bear swam 650 kilometers without stopping, from the coast of Alaska to pack ice. This is a record among land mammals. Fact number 16. Note: A small clarification that amazed me. That record swim of the female bear was documented by scientists from an American wildlife research organization. They tracked her with a GPS collar. 9 days in the open sea. At the same time, she lost 22% of her weight and her cub. This is a tragic story, but it shows how desperate the situation of polar bears has become because of melting ice. Fact number 17. The front paws of the polar bear are partially webbed. Small membranes between the toes help it paddle in the water. The fur is covered with fat and does not get wet, so after a swim the bear comes out almost dry. Fact number 18. Bears can stand on their hind legs, and in this position, they reach 3 meters in height. A bear does not stand up to attack. Most often, this is a way to better see or smell something interesting. Fact number 19. Bears' eyesight is not very sharp, but they can distinguish colors. This is rare among large predators. Color vision helps them find right berries. Fact number 20. A bear's hearing is excellently developed. It hears about twice as well as a human and is able to catch sounds at great distances in a dense forest. And now stop for a second. Write in the comments, have you ever seen a bear in the wild or in a zoo? I am interested in how many of you have had that experience. Fact number 21. Bears mark territory by leaving claw scratches on trees. The higher the scratch, the larger the bear. Other bears read these marks like an announcement. This kind of beast lives here. Think about whether it is worth coming in. Fact number 22. Before winter sleep, a brown bear enters a phase of hyperphagia, a state of uncontrollable appetite. During this period, it eats for 20 hours a day and gains up to 45 kilograms of fat in a few weeks. Fact number 23. A bear builds or chooses its den itself. It can be a ravine, a dugout burrow, a fallen tree, or dense thickets. Inside, it lines it with grass, moss, leaves, and branches. A smart bear comes to the den only when snow falls. Snowfall hides its tracks. Fact number 24. Bear cubs are born right during the mother's winter sleep. The female bear does not wake up during birth. The whole process happens in a half-sleep. Newborns immediately find the nipples and begin to feed. Fact number 25. A bear embryo develops with a delay. This is called delayed implantation. The fertilized egg does not attach to the wall of the uterus immediately. Development begins only when the female bear goes into winter sleep. If she has not accumulated enough fat, the pregnancy can end on its own. Fact number 26. The female bear feeds and raises the cubs alone, without the male. Males do not participate in raising offspring at all, and that is putting it mildly. Some males, when they meet cubs, can attack them, so the female keeps them away. Fact number 27. Childhood in bears lasts a long time. Cubs stay with their mother from 1.5 to 3 years, depending on the species. During this time, they learn everything. How to look for food, how to build a den, how to avoid danger. Fact number 28. Bears can count. Experiments have shown that they are able to compare the number of objects and choose the larger group. This is called numerical thinking, and most animals do not have it. Fact number 29. Bears remember for a surprisingly long time. They remember all the berry places in their range, routes to fish rivers, human faces, and specific threats. Researchers recorded that a bear that was once frightened in a certain place avoided it for years. Fact number 30. Brown bears use tools. There have been recorded cases when bears took a stick or a stone to get bait out of a trap without getting caught themselves. This is called tool behavior, a sign of high intelligence. I admit honestly, when I first read about bear intelligence, I had to double-check several sources. It sounds almost unbelievable for an animal we are used to seeing as a symbol of brute force. Fact number 31. Bears can learn by observing others. Cubs learn from their mother. But something else has also been noticed. Bears in U.S. national parks watched people opening food containers and then repeated the same movements. Fact number 32. The panda is the only bear that feeds almost exclusively on one product. Up to 99% of its diet consists of bamboo. At the same time, the panda's digestive system is like that of a predator. It cannot digest plants effectively. That is why pandas have to eat up to 20 kilograms of bamboo per day. Fact number 33. Despite this, pandas are real bears. Disputes about their classification went on for decades. Scientists classified the panda as either a raccoon or as a separate family. Genetic analysis at the end of the 20th century finally proved the panda belongs to the bear family. Fact number 34. A panda cub at birth is about 900 times lighter than its mother. This is one of the most striking examples of a difference in weight between mother and newborn among all animals. The baby weighs about 100 grams, like an apple. Fact number 35. Polar bears are officially classified as marine mammals because they spend most of their lives on sea ice or in the water, not on land. Their Latin name Ursus maritimus means sea bear. Fact number 36. Polar bears do not hunt penguins, contrary to jokes in cartoons. Penguins live in Antarctica at the South Pole. Polar bears live in the Arctic at the North Pole. They never meet in nature. Fact number 37. The word Arctic comes from a Greek word meaning bear, in honor of the constellation Ursa Major, which points north. So the Arctic bear lives where there is a place named after a bear in the sky. Fact number 38. Polar bears have small, hard bumps on the pads of their front paws. They work like studs on winter tires and prevent slipping on ice. The hind paws have the same bumps, plus thick fur between the toes for extra grip. Fact number 39. The sloth bear hunts termites with the help of the unique construction of its muzzle. It closes its nostrils, spreads its lips, and sucks insects in through a gap in the front teeth. It has no upper incisors. The sound can be heard from 150 meters away. Fact number 40. The spectacled bear is the only species of bear in South America. It lives in the Andes at an altitude of up to 4,500 meters above sea level. It got its name from the light spots around its eyes that look like glasses. And the pattern is unique for each individual, like fingerprints in humans. Here is a question for you. Which bear do you think has the sharpest sense of smell? The polar bear, the brown bear, or the grizzly? Write your answer in the comments, and I will tell the truth a little later. Fact number 41. The American black bear, the barrabal, is not always black in color. In the western part of the United States, many barrabals are brown, rusty, or even creamy white. This is an adaptation to open landscapes, where a light color helps camouflage them on sunny meadows. Fact number 42. The Asian black bear has a characteristic white or cream-colored spot on its chest in the shape of a V or a crescent. For this, it is sometimes called the moon bear. It lives in forests from Iran to Japan. Fact number 43. Bears are excellent fishermen. A brown bear in Alaska and Kamchatka during salmon spawning season comes to the rivers and catches fish with its paws or directly with its mouth. Experienced bears choose the fattest females with eggs and eat only the most nutritious part, leaving the rest. Fact number 44. In salmon spawning places, bears temporarily become almost social animals. Large, dominant males take the best positions near waterfalls. Young bears and females stay lower downstream. This is a kind of hierarchy without a pack. Fact number 45. Salmon eaten by bears fertilizes the forest. Bears carry fish scraps deep into the forest, sometimes up to 300 meters from the river. As the remains of fish decompose, they enrich the soil with nitrogen. Scientists have found that trees within the radius of bear feeding areas grow faster. Fact number 46. During winter sleep, a bear does not urinate or defecate. Metabolic waste products are recycled by the body. Scientists are studying this mechanism. It may help in developing treatment for kidney failure in humans. Simply put, the bear has solved a problem that medicine has been struggling with for several decades, and the clue is hidden in its DNA. Fact number 47. A bear's muscles almost do not atrophy during winter sleep, even though the animal does not move for months. This is also a phenomenon. In humans, muscles quickly weaken during immobility. Medical researchers want to understand how this works in order to help patients with long-term immobilization. Fact number 48. A bear's bones do not lose density during winter sleep, despite the complete absence of load. In humans, during bed rest, bones begin losing calcium after only a few weeks. Solving this mechanism could revolutionize the treatment of osteoporosis. Fact number 49. A bear's body temperature during winter sleep drops only by a few degrees, to 31 to 35. This is sharply different from true hibernation in small animals, whose temperature falls almost to zero. That is why scientists call the bear's winter sleep torpor, not full hibernation. Fact number 50. Bears live up to 30 years in the wild and longer in captivity. The oldest recorded bear, a Greek brown bear named Andreas, lived 50 years in a sanctuary. A bear's age is determined by annual rings in the root of a tooth, like in a tree. So we are exactly halfway through. The most interesting part, I promise, is still ahead. Fact number 51. Russia has the largest population of brown bears in the world, from 100 to 120,000 individuals. For comparison, in all of Europe there are fewer than 15,000. Fact number 52. The Kamchatka bear is the largest subspecies of brown bear. Some males weigh over 600 kilograms. This is comparable to the weight of a polar bear. The abundance of salmon makes Kamchatka bears some of the largest land predators on the planet. Fact number 53. Bears in Russia really do sometimes enter cities and settlements. This happens especially often in Kamchatka, Sakhalin, and Siberia. The usual reason is the smell of food near garbage containers. Every year, dozens of such cases are recorded. Fact number 54. A bear that behaves as a predator toward humans is called a shatun. This is a bear that has not gone into winter sleep because of hunger or injury. In winter, it is doubly dangerous, hungry and disoriented. Fact number 55. Bears in the wild try to avoid humans. A bear initiates a meeting with a human extremely rarely. In most attacks, it is a female bear with cubs that was frightened, or an injured animal that was cornered. Fact number 56. If you meet a bear in the forest, do not run. A bear instinctively chases fleeing prey. The best tactic is to speak in a calm voice, slowly back away, and look at the animal. In most cases, it will leave by itself. Fact number 57. The polar bear is the only bear that regularly hunts humans as prey. This is an important difference. Other species attack out of fear or in defense. A polar bear perceives an unfamiliar object as potential food. Fact number 58. In the Arctic, polar bears carefully clean their fur after every meal. In winter, with snow in summer, by bathing in the sea. They spend 15 to 20 minutes a day on hygiene. Dirty fur loses its heat-insulating properties. For Arctic frosts, this is critical. Fact number 59. Polar bears can hold their breath underwater for 2 minutes. They are helped by a large lung volume, a high concentration of oxygen-binding protein in their muscles, and a slow pulse during a dive. Fact number 60. A polar bear hunts seals at breathing holes in the ice. It lies motionless for hours next to the opening, waiting for the seal to come up for air. One strike of the paw, and the prey is caught. This is a hunt of patience. Fact number 61. Bears can deceive. This is a special type of behavior that requires a theory of mind, an understanding that another creature does not know something. Bears pretend that they do not notice food if competitors are nearby, and sneak up to it later when they leave. Fact number 62. Bears play, even as adults, especially in water. They splash, roll onto their backs, push each other. Play in adult animals is a sign of developed intelligence. Among large predators, this is rare. Fact number 63. Bears make sounds surprisingly similar to human crying, especially cubs. If a bear cub is lost or frightened, its howl literally touches the soul. It is no coincidence that bears became the prototype for children's soft toys. Fact number 64. The teddy bear owes its name to US President Theodore Roosevelt. In 1902, he refused to shoot a tied-up bear during a hunt, calling it dishonorable. Newspapers mocked the situation with cartoons, and soon teddy bears appeared on sale. Fact number 65. In the mythology of many peoples of the world, the bear occupies a special place. Among the Slavs, it was the master of the forest, so respected that its true name became taboo. The Russian word medved literally means the one who knows honey. This is a euphemism, a replacement for the forbidden name. Fact number 66. Among the Scandinavians, berserkers, warriors who entered a battle trance, literally meant bearskin, that is, clothed in bearskins. The bear symbolized fury, strength, and fearlessness in battle. Fact number 67. The name Arthur, according to one version, comes from the Celtic word for bear. The legendary King Arthur may have been a bear king. Names like Bjorn among the Scandinavians, Bern among the Germans, Ursula among the Romans, they all mean bear. Fact number 68. The coat of arms of Berlin is a bear. The name of the city, according to one version, also comes from the German word bear. The bear appears on the coats of arms and flags of dozens of cities and regions around the world. Fact number 69. Russia has been depicted as a bear in Western caricatures for several centuries. This image became fixed in European culture in the 15th century. when Russia began actively interacting with Europe. Over time, Russians themselves accepted this symbol and are even proud of it. Fact number 70. The bear in the circus is an old tradition. In Rus, bear handlers led bears through cities, arranging performances as early as the Middle Ages. Modern animal rights activists are trying to ban such performances. Training bears is associated with cruelty. I will say honestly, I understand both sides of this dispute, but one thing is indisputable. A trained bear that has lived among people since childhood demonstrates amazing abilities for social interaction. Fact number 71. Bears in captivity that grew up among people show surprisingly high social intelligence. The bear Stepan, who lives in a family of trainers near Moscow, has lived with people since 1996, almost 30 years, and does not show aggression. Fact number 72. In Yellowstone National Park in the United States, grizzly bears learned to break into cars for food. They know that there may be food in cars. Some individuals systematically walk around parking lots, checking cars by smell. The park specially teaches tourists the rules for storing food. Fact number 73. The grizzly is not a separate species, but a subspecies of the brown bear. Its name comes from the English word grizzled, meaning gray-haired. The light tips of the hairs create the characteristic silvery appearance of the fur. In genetics and behavior, the grizzly differs from European brown bears, but it belongs to the same species. Fact number 74. Bears are able to sense changes in weather. Before a storm, they become restless, eat a lot, and look for shelter. Scientists connect this with sensitivity to changes in pressure. Apparently, bears have something like a barometer in their body. Fact number 75. Bears shed their fur once a year, in spring. Spring shedding can last several months, and during this period, bears look shaggy and mangy. Many zoologists describe a spring bear as a creature completely unlike its winter ceremonial appearance. Fact number 76. Bears climb trees very well at a young age. With age and weight gain, this skill remains in some species and decreases in others. The American black bear climbs trees throughout its life. This is its main strategy for escaping threats. The brown bear does it less and less with age. Fact number 77. The diet of a brown bear includes ants and honey from wild bees. A bear destroys anthills with its front paws and licks up insects with its tongue. Bee stings hardly bother it. Thick fur protects the body, and only the nose remains vulnerable. Fact number 78. Bears eat soil. This is called geophagy and occurs in many species. Bears eat certain types of soil for minerals that are lacking in their food, especially in spring after coming out of winter sleep. Fact number 79. A polar bear, after a successful hunt, can eat up to 45 kilograms of meat at once. Then it may not eat for several days. This strategy of eating for future reserves is typical of predators whose prey is unpredictable. Fact number 80. Bears can read the behavior of other animals and birds. Crows and magpies often follow bears, waiting for leftovers from prey. Bears in turn sometimes follow crows. Birds circle over carrion or fresh prey. This is mutually beneficial scouting. Fact number 81. The future of the polar bear as a species is under threat. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, by the middle of the century, the polar bear population may decrease by more than a third. The reason is the melting of Arctic ice, which serves as their platform for hunting. Effect number 82. The brown bear once inhabited almost all of Europe. By the 10th century, it had been exterminated in most of the western continent. Today, small populations remain in the mountains of Spain, Italy, Romania, and Scandinavia. Fact number 83. In Japan, lives a special subspecies of the brown bear, the Ezo bear, which inhabits the island of Hokkaido. Among the Ainu, the indigenous people of Hokkaido, the bear held a central place in culture and religion. They held a sacred ritual with a bear that was raised in the village and then solemnly sent off to the world of spirits. Fact number 84. Bears often use the same trails from generation to generation. These bear trails become so beaten down that they remain visible in the forest after decades. Paws step into the same tracks. Young bears literally walk in the footsteps of their ancestors. Doc number 85. Bears orient themselves in space over huge territories. The range of one brown bear can be from 100 to 1,000 kilometers. At the same time, the animal remembers every berry patch, every stream, every fallen tree with larvae. Fact number 86. Bears communicate with each other not only by roaring. They use mooing sounds, grunting, quiet howling, as well as scent marks, body postures, and contact. Researchers have identified several dozen different signals in brown bears. Fact number 87. Bears that live near people adapt to our schedule. In areas with active tourism, bears switch to a nocturnal lifestyle to avoid people during the day. This is a behavioral adaptation that occurs within 1 or 2 generations. Fact number 88. In some regions of Alaska and British Columbia, the Kermoda bear, or spirit bear, is found, a rare white bearable. It is not an albino. The white color is caused by a recessive gene. Among the indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest, it was considered a sacred animal. Fact number 89. Bears take insect baths. Behavior has been recorded where bears intentionally sit on anthills, allowing insects to crawl through their fur. Presumably, formic acid repels parasites. Exactly the same behavior is observed in birds. This is called anting. Fact number 90. Bears have a developed sense of play throughout their lives. Even old males have been seen somersaulting in the snow, sliding down hills, or splashing in a river, clearly without any practical purpose. This is rare for large predators. I remember as a child, I saw a bear in a zoo and thought, what a boring animal. It walks back and forth. Now I understand. It is not the boredom of the animal, it is the boredom of captivity. In nature, a bear is one of the most active and curious creatures in the forest. Fact number 91. Bears participate in the ecosystem as gardeners. By eating berries and nuts, they spread seeds over long distances through the digestive tract. Some seeds sprout where the bear carried them, together with food remains. Fact number 92. Bears provide mountain rivers with nutrients. When they pull salmon out of the water and eat it on the shore, marine nutrients enter the forest soil. This is called a marine subsidy, the transfer of nutrients from the ocean deep inland. Fact number 93. A bear's brain is relatively large for its body size. The ratio of brain weight to body weight in bears is about the same as in cats and dogs. But the structure of the bear's brain is more developed in areas responsible for long-term memory and spatial thinking. Fact number 94. Bears can pretend to be dead. A brown bear, when attacked by a larger opponent, can lie motionless, slow its breathing, and wait. There are known cases when an animal that was thought to have been killed got up and left several hours later. Fact number 95. Bears are afraid of unfamiliar smells. The smell of a human in most cases makes a bear leave rather than attack. That is exactly why forest rangers advise making noise in the forest. Hearing a human from far away, the bear will leave by itself long before the meeting. Fact number 96. The panda is listed as a vulnerable species. Back in 2016, its status improved from endangered to vulnerable. Thanks to successful captive breeding programs and the restoration of bamboo forests in China, today there are about 1,800 wild pandas in the world. Fact number 97. The sun bear is the least studied of all 8 species. It leads a secretive nocturnal lifestyle in hard-to-reach tropical forests. Scientists still know little about its reproduction, life expectancy, and social behavior in the wild. Fact number 98. Bears can consume fermented fruits and behave as if drunk. Cases have been recorded where bears overate overripe berries and behaved unsteadily, losing coordination. This is an accidental but regular phenomenon. Fact number 99. In India, sloth bears were trained to protect villages from tigers. Their aggressiveness and lack of fear toward big cats made them unexpectedly effective protectors. Cases of bear training were recorded among many peoples of Asia long before circus traditions. And finally, fact number 100. The bear is one of the few wild animals that humanity has been unable either to fully tame or to fully destroy. It survived ice ages, extinctions of megafauna, and millennia of hunting. It is present in the myths, coats of arms, names, and children's toys of every people who lived near it. And today, in the 21st century, the bear continues to walk its trails exactly where its ancestors walked thousands of years ago. 100 facts. And still it seems that we have barely touched the surface, because the bear is a whole world. 8 species, dozens of subspecies, thousands of years of shared history with humans. An animal that is at the same time a symbol of wild power and a soft toy in a child's bed. A predator that overeats on berries. A loner that remembers you for years. It is perhaps the most human of all non-human creatures on the planet. And here is the answer to the question about smell. The sharpest sense of smell belongs to the polar bear. 32 kilometers compared to 20 for the brown bear. The winner in the world of smells is the master of the Arctic. That is what the bear is. Strong, smart, ancient beast, which we have simultaneously feared and revered, exterminated and protected, and which, despite all this, still looks at us from the forest and decides whether to leave or stay.